Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic, cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey Books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is jackcaseybooks.com. Have you guys heard of Matt Miller? He's not only the guy who paints those amazing portraits of all your favorite heroes in the liberty movement and in pop culture, but he's also now an official sponsor of this show. From Murray Rothbard to Ron Paul, Dr. Robert Malone to Darth Maul, Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits has something fun for everyone to spice up your home or office and showcase your heroes. Go check out his incredible work at libertyportraits.com. Grab a print to impress your friends, hire him for a custom portrait, or bring him out to a festival to capture your event in real life in a beautiful and unique way. To find out more, just head over to libertyportraits.com. Once again, that is libertyportraits.com. Oh, shit. Well, 39 minutes late ain't bad, I suppose. We do what we can around here, but we're back. We're back, and we're talking about some things. You know what we're talking about. It's Joe Biden's, I guess, MAGA campaign speech that he gave that they called the State of the Union Address. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to roast some news and talk about all sorts of shit. Before we do that, let's roll this intro. Let's embrace this internet while we still have it, and let's get weird. Here we go. Nope, not that. Here we go.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
Half of Trump's supporters do what I call activist support.
I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth! I remember that with Matt Smotz! We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
Hey, I am not organized anymore! You don't like to put chemicals in the water to turn the friggin' frog!
Let you know tomorrow. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Yeah, it's a big club, and you ain't in it, but you're in this one. We're all family here. We're all family, brothers and sisters of whatever this is. Welcome to Systems Down. This is a place where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, and whenever Joe Biden has a bowel movement, it seems like. Thank God we're talking about this. Thank God we're talking about war. Thank God we're not talking about COVID. But of course we're going to talk about all those things. Welcome back. If you're new here, go find the person who invited you. Give him a big smash of the like button and a share or whatever the millennials tell you to do. It's quite funny watching everybody just, still say those things when we're talking about things like World War III, nuclear holocaust, and the end of the world. We're still just like, yeah, get out there and smash that like button, brother. Which leads me to believe that nobody really has any idea what could happen here and that none of us are taking it seriously. But whatever. We'll get to the end of the world. Just hold on to your horses because we got to talk about our sponsors. First and foremost being you guys in the Downers Club, people like Ryan Graham, Tom, Patrick Lester, Peter R., Gid Kid something, Gigi Vaughn, Mike Stonehouse, Cole, Heffalumps woozles, level 0. I just get slow. Like, the more of y'all that get in here, I just get slower because my brain just malfunctions at the amount of people. Thank you. This list is getting so incredibly long. I don't know what to say other than thank you, but thank you. If you would like to get your name on that list, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content. All of our bonus stuff, our after parties, our South Park recaps, our Boba Fett recaps, lots of nerd shit, the extended interviews, and ads, ad-free versions of the show. So if you want to listen to the main show, but you're sick of hearing about Jack Casey's stupid books, then you can go get the ad-free version over at patreon.com/The System Is Down. And we'll be streaming the live after party there, through the Patreon. Yes, no longer Facebook after this. So get in there now, and we'll see if... Well, actually, I don't have to see if I can get you in there anymore. You should have direct access to it as soon as you sign up. You should be able to get into the after party. So patreon.com/The System Is Down. Get in there and be cool. We're sponsored, of course, by Jack Casey's Stupid Books at jackcaseybooks.com. We're also sponsored by Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits and all that. So check those guys out. LibertyPortraits.com, JackCaseyBooks.com. They're awesome guys. You already heard about them in the intro, but they're cool enough to support this show, so go give them a hit and a shout at Jack Casey Books for some awesome Liberty-based, crazy, sci-fi-ish novel weirdness, and LibertyPortraits.com for Matt Miller's Portraits of Liberty dudes, and also some Star Wars stuff, so all good things. Now, we also have the shirt store. You know where it is. Just go to thesystemsdown.tv. Check out the store. Get all the shirts. Get the Let's Go Brandon shirt or whatever. I'm not pulling all these things up. Not spending a bunch of time on it because we got to get into a lot of things. And I think the after party today is just going to be all a bunch of Ukraine, Russia propaganda stuff, war talk there, because we can't cover both massive stories of the end of the world and also Joe Biden's ridiculous speech all in one. So I think that's what the after party is going to be, with a couple other bombastic headlines that we're going to cover. But I can't do it alone, so of course I have to bring on the one, the only, my brother in crime, Mr. Dave Casey from Dave vs. Goliath, to join me. Dave, what's up, man?
What's happening, Dan? Good to be here, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here. And how have you been? It's been like, I don't know, a week and a half. It hasn't been that long. But how have you been?
Yeah, dude, today was great. Got a fresh haircut. Weather's beautiful.
Looking
Everybody,
sharp.
all the governors are, thank you, dude. All the governors are in lockstep, saying no more masks, no more bullshit. So
you got your alt-right cut. You got your alt-right cut all cleaned up?
Yeah, it's
Nice.
it's a dog whistle / the freshness. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other thing you said? Sorry, I got distracted by your hair.
Yeah, sure. It is. Yeah, it's something to gaze at. Yeah, man, it's good weather here today. So yeah, I'm feeling the change of the season, and
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I've got my
Enjoying
window open right
it.
here. The lighting might be a little different today because my window is open. The sun is shining. It's beautiful. My cat is sitting in the window, so there's a good chance he'll walk through here at any point. But yeah, if the light shifts, that's why. Also, to Dave already knows this, but to the people watching, I'm expecting a package at any moment now. And it's like a $2,000 lens that I purchased for a trip that I'm going on tomorrow to Liberty Forum up in New Hampshire. So I need to get this now. So my son is standing guard, and if the UPS guy knocks, he knows to come running and get me. So if things go black, we're not gone unless we are.
The only thing that would make that better is if you had like an entrance to your studio that he could knock on.
Yeah.
Like the Mr. Rogers guy. Oh, delivery, come on in.
I mean, basically.
Make it
yeah.
a little.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that. But
Yeah, I should have just told my son to dress up in a mailman uniform and walk in. But yeah, so if you hear a knock, just know that I'll be running out. Maybe I'll leave Dave on to just figure it out, and he can just start plugging his
flex
own
for a
stuff or talk about his own shit. It's whatever. It's Dave's show at
We'll
that
get
point.
deep.
Anyway, lots going on. Of course, the primary thing is this Fate of the Union address that Joe Biden gave last night. We can't kick off with that, though, because we got to kick off with the good news. We always kick off with the good news to set the stage.
Yeah.
And Dave, did you know that it's National Women's History Month?
Oh yes, I did. I remember that from last year, which I was
Happy
new to me
National
last
Women's
year. But,
History Month, Dave.
right. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's time to celebrate with these bitches. I got my bitches right behind me. We're ready to start Women's Appreciation Month. Yeah,
That's right.
let's
There they
go.
are. So I was
Like,
actually talking to my wife about this yesterday. Neither of us had any idea. I just got on Google Calendar and it said first day of National Women's History Month or whatever. Yesterday, March 1st. And she didn't even know that there was National Women's History Month. I didn't know that there was one, and that's
this
all the
is
good
like
that they're putting
decades
into the
old,
world.
dude. Like
Is
they've
it?
been doing it for yes. I Googled it last year because again it was new to me last year. But
Yeah.
apparently this has been a thing. So
It's just,
yeah,
I mean, I don't care. You can celebrate all the bullshit holidays you want. That's fine. And I have nothing against women except for Shannon. But if, like, I was talking to my wife about it. Like, at what point do we have to establish like white dude month or white dude day? Like, they have to give us at least something. I know that the argument is, well, you guys get all the rest of it. It's like, yeah, but do you really want that? Do you mean that? Because if you all are taking 1 month, then after there's like 3 or 4 different months to all the other categories that aren't white dudes, then it's going to be assumed that we do get the rest of it. Is that what y'all ladies and I don't know, people of color are looking for? The acknowledgement of the rest being white year?
dude, I think they blew their hand with Women's Month. Like it could be any cause or any minority of any kind could have a month. I still think a month is excessive for any group.
Yeah.
And it's almost, borderline pandering at this point for
it's
some.
100% pandering.
Right. But they blew their hand with women because I'm pretty sure there's like the majority, like there might be more women in this country than there are men just by a slight advantage.
Sure.
Like that's just so many people.
Right.
So I don't know. They blew it with that.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Now the only thing left is Man Month.
Us, bitches.
Right. Celebrate me, bitches.
That's right. National Podcasters Month. That's what we should get. So that's the main good news, but we've got a couple good news stories today. Not just Women's History Month. We got this good news. The House passes bill making lynching a federal hate crime. So if you were thinking about lynching somebody, just make sure you don't do it racistly, because that's worse. And also make the right choice. Like, if you're going to lynch somebody, at least don't be a racist, because you could get 2 death penalties or whatever the fuck. Yeah, got any thoughts on this, Dave?
This is the kind of stuff that liberals eat up, and they'll ask, well, can you believe it never was federally illegal? It's like, oh my God.
It was.
Yeah.
Murder's been illegal for as long as I can remember.
Right. Oh, so you're against lynching at that, you're for lynching? Yeah. Everybody is and has been for quite some time. This is that kind of shit that they just like, this is total filler, man, while they're doing obviously a whole lot of other stuff, or want you to be looking at some other stuff.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Anytime something like this comes out, it's like government's just like, look busy. Like we gotta be doing something. So I guess let's make killing people illegal again. Yes, make killing illegal again. That's our new campaign
It's like
slogan.
a reboot.
Yeah, and I did see. I think it was who's that guy? Who's that libertarian guy that everybody likes?
Ron Paul?
No. No, the darling of the LP, Justin Amash.
Dave Smith?
Justin Amash.
Oh.
Yes, Dave Smith.
Yeah, everybody loves Justin Amash. Come on.
Yeah, I did see Justin. Well, I mean, everybody. He's the most accepted one amongst pretty much everybody, because he gets the normies like him, and then some of the rest of us are like, he's passable, so it's all good.
Right.
So he does have some pull, but I saw him posting about it, and the only reason I even brought him up was because I saw him post about it and said, oh, this was a thing before, because they passed I think he was still talking about it being a hate crime before, and this isn't even anything new in that area. But what difference does it make what you were thinking when you killed a guy? You killed a guy, and that's illegal. And like, if I was gonna get raped, I mean, I suppose I would prefer that he not judge me for my skin color while he's raping me, but at that point, it's really not the top concern for me.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. That's a pretty good analogy right there. But yeah, that shouldn't be the focus. This plays on people's emotions, man. And, groups that have grievances, with the government, then there's lots of them. But yeah, that can be exploited. Like, don't take it out on Whitey. Don't take it out on the government that could literally be sued for the actions that were committed,
Right.
that's bad news bears. We're going down that route for sure.
In other news, somebody, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. Somebody said to me in person this last week, who listens to the show on occasion, he said, "Why do you keep talking about Kanye West so much? Nobody cares about Kanye West." And to that I say, this week in Kanye West, fuck you, dude. I'll talk about what I want. It's my show. I actually didn't even, it wasn't even anything interesting that Kanye West did this week. I'm only bringing this up as just a very minor thing, just because you asked me why I talk about Kanye West so much. And, you know, if you were half as interesting as Kanye West, I might talk about you as well. But Kanye West, in an interview this last week, said this, and it's not going to play because Twitter. Are you a Kanye fan, Dave? I think we talked about this last time.
Not with so much of the music. I bought his first record. I thought it was pretty great. But when he was when everybody thought he was awesome, and Heartaches for 808s, all that stuff, yeah, I wasn't getting into that. But I'm a fan of him being a crazy, boombastic, truth-telling, spastic, dangerous human being.
Oh yeah, you were here for the whole Kanye debacle between him and
did a deep dive.
Him and Skeet, and like that feels so long ago at this point. Like that feels like, I don't know, 3 months ago.
COVID was still going on, bro. At that point,
right?
That was still a thing when we had that.
It's crazy because it's getting nice out and we're opening up windows, and COVID I think it just ended last night. So it's like this weird different air, complete, like literally and mentally in the room.
They know that, bro. Springtime in America. Ever since Joe Biden took care of the pandemic, the war, and everything in between.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Of all the things Joe Biden promised, I didn't hear springtime in there. But hey, if he's delivering, I'm not complaining. But anyway, Kanye West said this about my favorite Kanye West album, which is called My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is after Dave's listening time and after 808s and Heartbreak. But he said this.
So many people rate, Dark Fantasy is like one of the best albums, and Yeezus and 808s are so much better and stronger.
False.
Dark Fantasy is great. Almost like an apology.
That's
record.
Fine.
Like Power was the least progressive song that I ever had as a first single. And it was like this, me going back and spending 6 months, dedicated months. It was like over 2 years that it took to release the album, but 6 dedicated.
All right, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to spend a bunch of time on it, but he goes on to say basically he doesn't like it because it's his least experimental, and he was kind of piecing parts of himself together. He felt like the parts that people liked. And I think it's interesting, like, if you're familiar with these albums, he's talking about 808s and Heartbreak, which was pretty radio friendly, I would say. I mean, it was kind of new for its time with the auto-tune and stuff, and it kind of set the trend in motion. But then My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was just like this beautiful, like, eclectic, weird, but still, I don't know, approachable album. And then he just went balls to the wall crazy after that. And I like his new stuff, but I don't know. It's almost like the things that he doesn't like about it are the things that make it so great, because sometimes you do gotta, act a little bit, give the people what they want. Like, you can't, if you're just going for weird and unapproachable, then it's going to be just weird and unapproachable, like a lot of his stuff. But Dave, do you have any comments on this? I know you don't care, but
yeah, no, I actually
I hope Forrest is listening, because I know he cares.
Unwritten law. You got to put some hits on there, some radio bangers, man. I don't care what you want to do with the rest of the thing, what your purpose is, but put some pop tracks in there, or whatever you have to do to make sure that gets out to the people. And I'm not saying sell out or anything, but yeah, put some bangers on there. Don't go over 3 minutes. Verse, hook, verse, hook.
He has a hard time even getting to 2.5 minutes lately. It's like all of his songs just feel like intros. They just feel like weird little instrumental with a looped vocal part on it. It's like, is this a song? I'm waiting for this album to start, but whatever. Dave, what do you know about the United States Freedom Convoy 2022? Do you know anything about it?
It's so last week, bro.
Right?
I'm so over COVID now. Yeah, go home, bro. COVID's over. That's what I would say to those guys. Don't even worry about it, because we're focused on other shit. The propaganda machine is focused on the other side of the world right now. So
That's right.
no, I'm just kidding. Obviously,
I mean, I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, I feel like public appetite can be steered, and you know, I hope if they're going to do a thing that it's successful and whatever, and there's no COINTELPRO there to ruin the day.
When are they supposed to get there? Do you know? Because I was thinking it was March 1st, but it seems like they still haven't.
Yeah, I wonder, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's all, like I said, it's all in lockstep, and everybody's, you know, our governor was scheduled to let the kids go to school without masks the end of this month.
Yeah.
But I think that because like the dominoes are just like, whatever, it's happening so quick. He did it yesterday, and I'm seeing that happen everywhere. All these states right around us, they just do it at the same time.
Same thing here.
And I think it's springtime. They know people are going to go outside. They're not going to buy that.
Right.
So I didn't move off track, but
no, you're absolutely right. Like this trucker thing, it's like too little too late. We're trying to be as cool as Canada, and that's a really sad state of affairs when we're trying to be as cool as Canada, but we're too late. Like we're out there. No offense to the truckers. I know you've got good intentions, but why did you wait so long? And also, like, what were your stated goals to begin with? Because even when they started talking about this, it seemed like things were kind of on the decline, and now it's like we're going to get to D.C. right like the day after Biden's done saying, hey, you basically don't ever have to wear a mask again until a couple of months from now when we start another pandemic. And at which point, nobody cares about your protest for that either, because that's new and fresh.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. I mean, I wouldn't have gone down there to like be a part of that anyway, because I'm just against going to DC for large scale rallies. I'm certainly post 1/6. That's the lesson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it is asking for trouble for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit, maybe if that's a critique, it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, and with the way that it was handled in Canada, like if they're calling Canadians like saying that they're waving like rebel flags and Nazi flags and stuff like that, how do you think they're going to treat, you know, American citizens doing the same thing here? Like if they can call somebody a Southern American, basically in Canada, in our hat, yeah, it's a bad idea. Anyway, I was just trying to figure out what the latest scoop is on this thing. Like they didn't really say what they wanted initially, and I had their video, which I thought was good that they put out a video. They said that they were going to be peaceful, and they were very clear on that, but they didn't really say, we want this, and we're not stopping till we get this, in which case, like, what are you even going for? But in doing some research and trying to find out what's going on with it, I found some mixed reviews. I found truckers, hold on, let me rescale that. Truckers Freedom, this is March 1st, so yesterday. Truckers Freedom Convoy gains supporters in Hunt County. That's from yahoonews.com, so you know it's legit. Then we've got from UPI.com, so you know it's legit. Trucker, this is March 1st, yesterday. Truckers rally fizzles out in Washington, D.C. And, like, I can't tell, are they in Washington, D.C. already? Or were they not there and they're trying to say it fizzled because nobody showed up?
That'd be sad.
Yeah.
And that's sad no matter what. If it, you know, because they do deserve support. It's just like, you know, Philly was, you know, that's 30 minutes down the road, and that's one of the heaviest lockdown cities. You know, nobody can come into a restaurant who wasn't vaccinated. Nobody can go to the, you know, barely could do shit. Yeah. And then just like this week, they're like, never mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Company, University of Delaware, or was it the community college around here? They had a mandatory vac policy for like all their students. If you were like going there, imagine going to school, like you're 2 years in or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, to come back, you need to be vaccinated. So you go do that, and that's the reason. And then 3 months later, they're like, you know what? We thought about it. You don't have to do that.
Things have changed, like polling numbers. Those changed. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's that, and it's also funny. We'll get into the Biden stuff here in a minute, but at this Biden whatever, the State of the Union address, everybody's just there like kissing babies, hugging each other, like it's a family reunion, and they're all pals and friends, and 0 people are wearing masks. There was one point in the speech where, and I am getting ahead of myself, but in the speech where Biden's talking about COVID about an hour and a half into it, and they cut to the one guy in the crowd who's not standing, and he's the one guy wearing a mask, just like sitting there with his arms crossed. It was kind of hilarious. But just like the amount of theater is amazing, because they went overnight from you're all gonna die to this to it's just fine.
Yep.
Like nothing changed.
State of the Union. I didn't see any masks. Everybody was just open, chilling.
Sorry, I think I cut you off there. What'd you say?
Oh, no worries. I just said, State of the Union, great example of it. But yeah, they're out in the open making sure that people aren't seeing masks anymore. It seems like blatantly the opposite. It's not just like, up to you. It's like, no, let's show them like that it's over.
Yeah.
Show them that, we did this, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
put this nightmare behind us. God only knows where it came from. Anyway, I also wanted to bring this up. This is the trucker convoy. They said it was massive in, I think this is Missouri. And they've got some footage of trucks on a road, drone footage, and that's a lot of trucks. Yeah, but is it massive? I'm not entirely sure. It's not that I don't know. Mostly, what are you doing? Like, if you didn't have a real plan to begin with, and then the little bit of plan that you kind of had, or the little bit of message that you kind of had, is no longer relevant. What are you doing other than creating a problem? Creating, like, I'm for blocking roadways and maybe making life a little difficult in protest, but if you're doing that and there's no point to it, then you're going to be, considered an asshole by everybody real quick here. So
Yeah, you said it, man. You got to have your list of demands, or your list of whatever, ideas, suggestions, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, or if it's not valid at this point, then you might want to regroup.
Absolutely. And bad news this week for Joe Jorgensen fans out there, because one giant Switzerland is no longer an ideal dream, as Switzerland ditches neutrality to sanction Russia and Putin.
One giant bad motherfucking country now.
One giant Switzerland, armed and taking sides.
Right. That's great.
Anyway, we aren't going to, like I said at the beginning, we're not going to spend a bunch of time here talking about Ukraine, because we're going to save that for the after party, because there's just so much in this State of the Union. But I do want to get a couple things in here. Just a couple of headlines. And I know that the whole Ukraine-Russia deal, that whole spat, it's confusing. So what we really need is a voice of reason. We need a very intelligent, very high IQ, preferably woman of color, to explain it to us. And here she is. Is it going to play? Of course it's not going to play. Oh, wait, it's playing. Why isn't it giving me audio? All right. Stand by. Kamala Harris did a thing, and it's good.
If you're watching any level of news, even social media, you're seeing everything that's going on right now in the Ukraine. Break it down in layman's terms for people who don't understand what's going on and how can this directly affect the people of the United States.
So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
So when he said break it down into layman's terms, she was like, I got just the words for you. All the best words. Do you think that Kamala Harris thinks that we're all retarded? Or do you think that Kamala Harris is doing her best with the amount of information that she has as the Vice President of the United States of America?
Dude, God, I think, all right, listen, I think that Trump was successful because he took his language, man, like he would speak at like a middle school level, like you're 12 or 13.
Yeah.
That was like the gauge, right?
Right.
But Obama,
lowest common denominator words.
Right.
That everybody gets.
Obama was like speaking at a collegiate level, very, very dignified. And this lady just took it to like somebody just said, explain this to me like I'm 5. You know what I mean? It's so bad. And I feel like that's because she has like a GED level education.
Right.
And she doesn't think that sounds as ridiculous as it does. Like, oh, let me get on his level or whatever. And then,
I genuinely wonder if she even knows what, like, she's giving it the third grader explanation legit.
Awful.
And I kind of wonder if she's like, I have no fucking clue. Please don't ask me about Ukraine and Russia situation, because let me do the best I got here. One is a country, and a country, for those of you that don't know, is a collection of people who decide to live in the same area and establish a like, come on, I don't know, like, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt and think that she's just stupid enough to think that we're stupid, but I kind of wonder if she's just that stupid. What were you saying?
Just big country bad, little country good. It's probably, from being very generous, that, like when you do a Marvel movie, you can't say shit about the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like when you go and do Conan O'Brien show, like I imagine that there's not shit that she can say about the actual situation. Like even if somebody did brief her on like, all right, look, this is what's fucking going on.
Right.
So she literally has to go, yeah, see those guys? Big country bad. Right. They're hurting the little country. I'm like, ugh.
When a mommy and a daddy hate each other very much, daddy drinks sometimes. Sometimes daddy just really invades and bombs mommy. Anyway, speaking of bombs and nuclear holocausts, according to dailywire.com, so it's legit, during nuclear explosion, federal government advises mask wearing and social distancing in bomb shelters. Need I say more? Dave, what do you think?
It's as ridiculous as hiding under your desk when when a bomb.
I'd say more.
This is what they did in the Cold War. Yeah, I mean, this
is assuming that you have a bomb shelter and you're like, hold up, where's my mask? And they're like, hey, no, stay out there. We don't want you to be unhealthy or nothing. We don't want you like spreading no sickness down here at the end of the world or anything. So go grab your mask or get vaccinated and come right back.
Don't lose those masks. Yeah, lockstep. The next time they put mask up, on the TV, people will do it. They'll have those masks in their pocket. Social distance. They'll know exactly what that means, what's required. Don't leave your house. They'll be used to it. Hello, kitty cat.
Do you mind?
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you mind?
Nah, he's great.
Yeah, you're wrong. Just keep walking, bud. It's like, what?
My house.
You cleaned this desk. It's clean for a reason. All right. Yeah. So this is just the state of the state of the union, if you will. Still going to keep pushing the narrative, even though we are abandoning the narrative. I feel like there's kind of this air like of we are relinquishing our power in this one thing. However, we're also going to hold on to it for the future. Like, we're not saying the truth. We're not saying that this whole thing was bunk and that the masks didn't really do anything, and so we don't need them anymore, even though nothing's changed statistically. We're just saying, hey, things have changed, so take off your mask, and but still have in the back of your mind that this could happen. In Biden's State of the Union, when he's talking about COVID, he said, we need to be prepared for the next pandemic, and we're well established, and we got this thing under control. Thank God we did it, because now we can go without masks. It's just like the amount of self-flagellating backflips that they have to do to feel special for the terrible, terrible work that they do at their jobs is, I don't know. It leaves me without words.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, for those of us who have always suspected that this was never about the virus and it was always about setting up the permanent infrastructure for the social credit system, and that 2030 plan, we've been over and over and over this, but that's what it is. You have to smash Main Street globally. You might have to take out a couple rogue actors, #Putin, who aren't playing ball with your central bank and your pipelines and your whatever else you want to do for your long-term 100-year goals.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. So they can just pivot. Like it if anybody was still scared, you'd think that there'd be one of these people on the media or in Congress or something that's like, no, we can't stop wearing these masks right now. We can't stop doing this right now or whatever.
Right.
Like, we're so close or whatever. But no, lockstep. Every single, everything looks good. Riding that victory wave, baby.
Yep.
So
we're going to war or something. I mean, that's been kind of back and forth. That's the gist of this Ukraine stuff. it's really hard to follow. And again, we're going to break it down more in the after party, but lots of confusion. And right after Joe Biden started sending some troops over there, he decided to go up and visit Dave in Delaware. He just took the weekend off to go be with his family. My speculation, and I imagine more people's speculation, was because they said that it was for a memorial service or something. He was going home for a memorial service, and it's like, whose? Is it his? Like, did he just kick off a war and then go home so he could hold his family while the world ends? Or, I mean, obviously that didn't happen. We're past that. We live in the future now. But strange move for like a day or two after giant conflict. Even, I mean, this is from the New York Post. Like, I'm pretty sure they're left leaning, right? I could be wrong. Are they?
The Post? I don't think that they are. I think the Times is the.
Okay, I get my New Yorks mixed up, and they're all trash to me anyway. But just I don't know. I'm pretty sure even CNN was reporting on how kind of strange timing this was. That right after you send a bunch of troops somewhere, as the guy who sent them there, you're like, hey, you guys mind if I take a couple days off, head on home, and have a nice barbecue, and whatever.
Hop in my cryo chamber for a little bit. Y'all can handle this. Kamala's got it. Big country, bad. Remember that, okay? Little country.
they just hand her the notes, and it's just like this piece of paper that has two stick figures on it, and one's like glaring, and the other one's like sad, and the big one is the glaring one. He's like raising a fist, and it just says Russia and Ukraine, and has like a circle and a check mark around Ukraine, and then an X through the. Anyway, that's enough on that. We're gonna talk about the State of the Union, which is such a historic moment. Dave, is there anything that Joe Biden could have said or ever could say that would convince you to vote for him?
No.
Not even if he came out and he was like, UFOs are real, here's the evidence, and we killed JFK, and the moon landing was fake, and I'm gonna die, so I'm out of here. Like, what if he had like in his like third year,
if he was piecing out
if he was like on his third year, okay, let's say support him or whatever, or want to vote for him at that point. If he was on his third year in office, which is like his 87th year in office, he decided on his deathbed, I'm just gonna tell all the truth in a press conference or something. What would you do?
I would obviously love that. And I would say, I mean, maybe, I hope that helps you at the heavenly gates, bro.
Right.
Because, you got some making up to do. Yeah, I don't know. There's always anybody. Shit, I was going to say anybody can be redeemed. I don't even know if that's true, but I would applaud it. I would say he's doing a good thing now.
Right.
And thank goodness. Because for the past 50 years, you weren't really kind of knocking it out of the park there, guy.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything to worry about because I don't think we're getting any of those things. But we did get some new words out of Joe Biden's mouth that were quite amazing. So at hashtag Biden is a laughingstock was trending this morning, and we're going to get into why, but just thought that was a fun fact. I've just got a bunch of notes because I had a drink last night. First off, pour one out for your homies last night who died from the drinking games during the State of the Union address, because it was every bit as much a shit show as you would think. It seems like, though, they like dope him up a little bit more for these big ones, for the ones that really count.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a different person between
what
Biden.
What kind of cocktail do you think is it, bro? What do you think it is? Is it like meth with is it just caffeine? Like
it's meth
Coke
laced with adrenochrome, I would imagine. But yeah. It's just so weird to see, because we keep expecting him, like in the debates and stuff, when he goes out there for these big important events, we keep expecting. How weird is it that everybody in the world is watching, and we're all just kind of like, is he gonna make it? is he gonna make it to the end of this speech? Like, that's a legitimate concern or thought that everybody in the world is having about the guy who's leading our country into war right now. But it seems like for a press conference he'll just mumble off into a nap, but for these ones he's a little more with it. But Dave, did you watch the thing? The thing?
When you told me we were going to be talking about it, I typed in State of the Union highlights, and it gave me like 3 minutes, which was good enough.
That's it. Probably plenty.
That really covered it. And I can say that this morning when I was flipping through social media, like some of the like Facebook, not Twitter, the same people that bought that, that wanted Joe Biden, there's no buyer's remorse, bro. They loved it. It was just like, people are seeing two different things.
Yeah. Like, it's incredible how they not only didn't get what they voted for, but now he's literally pushing Trump talking points, and they're just like clapping, eating it up. Yeah, you were for open borders the whole time, weren't you? Or closed borders, sorry, securing the borders. You were for that the whole time. Yeah, we love that. We love cops. Like,
do you think that I posted on your post earlier about the war party is like united now, like with the Ukraine thing? Seems like Republicans are on board, Democrats, boom, let's go do this.
Yep.
So it seemed like in my highlights reel that I got, like it was just like everybody would stand up, clap, stand up, clap, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Yes.
And they always do that with those things, but there was just like a lot more full room consensus. So like, you know, when he said that about the cops, like you saw the Democrats just like, well, yeah, I guess, you know, well, sure.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We knew it wasn't going to happen anyway.
Right. That was just the whole thing 2 years ago. Not even 2 years ago. It was defund them and, you know, all the justice and all the shit. And it's like, well, yeah, I don't know, it's not less money for the cops. It's you want more money for the cops.
Right.
Okay. Well, we could be convinced. Sure.
Absolutely. So my notes are pretty scattered, but we'll go through. I've got quite a bit, and I'll just kind of give you guys the points that I thought were the most poignant, and I do have clips of certain highlights and everything that we'll get to, but it opened with the most important part, which was the making of history with the first time in history 2 women sat behind the president at State of the Union. So Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris have made history by sitting while women. Well done, ladies. Well done.
Smash the shit out of that glass ceiling.
That's right. Just the fact that this is a headline is like, yes, they were in those. What difference does it make if they're, is it, if we have a female vice president, is everything that she does a historic, a groundbreaking moment? Like the first time a female president of the vice president of the United States took a shit. It's like, yay, good job.
Way to kick off Women's Month. Really did.
Yeah. Just so much, who cares? Like, they did absolutely nothing other than Nancy Pelosi introduced President Biden, I believe. Other than that, they sat there and clapped, and sometimes they didn't even get the cues right for when they're supposed to clap. Did you see the clip of Pelosi when she stands up and she's gonna clap?
Knuckling?
Yeah.
Knuckling? Yes. Yeah, so bizarre. Oh,
That's such an odd time. I had it saved for later, but if I can find it here, I will pull it up, because this will go how it go. But yeah, whatever. We'll come back to it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just a bunch of Catholic seals, robots clapping, just up, down. Like, I say Catholic because of the up, down. It would have made a Catholic tired. But yes, President Harris and Melted Candle Pelosi made history by being women is my first note. Next note is Nancy Pelosi spent the entire duration sucking on her dentures. Thank God they remained in her mouth. Like, is she always eating something, or is it legitimately that she is trying to keep her dentures in?
That's got to be it.
It's got to be, right?
She's ancient, dude. She blew JFK. She's ancient.
Gee, took her dentures out back then, too, to give them the good stuff.
She was 65 and 63.
So I had down, he sounds legit drunk. Like, when this guy talks, it's like, I don't know, it sounds like a guy doing his best, like not meaning any harm, but the way he stumbles and mumbles and just kind of, oh yeah, how serious it is sometimes, but sometimes it legit sounds like a dude, good natured, good mannered, like he's not an angry drunk, but he's not coherent drunk either. So that's fun.
Yeah.
I had down COVID is over, and then we get into Ukraine. So the entire like first half hour of this was less of a State of the Union, more of a State of Ukraine. And the entire speech, really, it felt like, I said this to my wife like maybe a half hour to 45 minutes in. I was like, this isn't a State of the Union address. This is a campaign speech. Like, he spent 9 out of 10 or 9/10 of this, I don't know, hour and a half long speech talking about what we're going to do. These grandiose, we're going to end cancer, we're going to end male pattern baldness, all sorts of just grand. He didn't really say that last one, but he did say the first one. Yeah, just making promises that he's definitely not going to keep. I'm not that old. Dave, you're a little bit older than me. neither of us are that old, but we've been through a couple State of the Unions. I don't know what the precedent is, but don't they normally, when they give the State of the Union address, don't they lean more towards giving like information on the, I don't know, state of the what's the word? The union? Is that what it is?
Yeah, man. But you know what? Never let a good opportunity of emergency go to waste. So that I didn't even think about that, but when you said that, that makes perfect sense that they would use this as an opportunity to bang the war drums and talk about their plans. And again, I listen for buzzwords, and Joe Biden is very fixated on having a unified America. And that's just talk about things that are never going to happen.
I thought we got that now that Donald Trump's out of office. I thought we were all unified now. I feel more unified.
Right. It's never going to happen. But he'll say it anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, I caught, like I said, just a little bit, but
sure.
That's of course what the war party would do. This is what can unify the people in the seats there, the GOP and the DNC. They're going to be on board with this. Yeah.
Not even just the war stuff though, like the whole thing, every topic that he talked about, taxes, let's see, taxes, inflation. He talked about COVID. He talked about LGBTQ. He talked about guns. He talked about all these things, but it's all things that we're going to do instead of the things that he's accomplished. I suspect that the reason is because if you look at the track record of all the things he's accomplished over the last year and a half or however long it's been, feels like an eternity, but it's really hard to spin that into positive things. And it seems to me even they're having a hard time justifying anything that he's accomplished, quote unquote, accomplished over the last whatever span. How long has he been in office? I've legitimately lost track of time.
I think it's a little over a year. January 2021, he was inaugurated.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's it. Got a ways to go yet.
Buckle up, kids. We'll see. Do you think Joe Biden will get 4 State of the Union addresses in his running? Or do you think he'll... I know I said way back that he wouldn't even make it this far, but I'm still wondering, is he going to make it?
I will say yeah, but I don't think he's going to run again.
Yeah. No, I think
that, but I think that he'll make it.
Yeah. If it wasn't elder abuse last time, it most certainly would be at this point. He's going to get us into a war, and then he's going to die or bail, I think. But where was I? Talking about Ukraine, everyone was in blue and yellow because that's what the State of the United States Union address is all about, is defending Ukraine. Did you see the Iranian people clip that was going around?
Yeah, we memed that in the Delaware party. One of our guys made that a meme. We shared it right away. Yeah, of course.
What was it? What was the meme?
We just took that clip. It's just great, nice. his quote about, instead of saying Russian people, the Iranian people.
It was Ukrainian people or something. So he said, like, I'll just play it rather than trying to quote it while I have it.
Circle Kyiv with tanks, but it'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people.
Yeah, is it Kyiv or Kiev? Because now I hear everybody calling it Kyiv. Was every single person that I've ever heard pronounce this word in my entire life saying it wrong up until we went to war, or is this like a Mandela effect? Because now it's
Barcelona. It's not Barcelona. Stop it. Stop making crap up.
Exactly.
He'll never extinguish their love of freedom.
I think like they're zooming in on Kamala right after he says Iranian. I'm pretty sure he said Iranian instead of Ukrainian. He's saying no matter what happens, Putin's not going to win back the hearts and souls of the Ukrainians, I think is what he's going for. I think we're giving him too much credit, assuming, because he did say the name of a different country entirely. But it looks like Kamala Harris is mouthing Ukraine right after he says Iranian.
Oh my God, let me see.
Like she's correcting him in her mind.
Hearts and souls of the Iranian people. He'll never extinguish their love of freedom.
See that?
Yeah.
Ukrainian. She's like, this dumb motherfucker. I should be up there. I could explain to them all how Ukraine is a little country and Russia is a big country. The really important things.
Yeah, look at that look.
Yeah. So that's a little disconcerting when our president doesn't even know or can't, like, yeah, you can say it's nitpicking when he misspeaks, but how many times do we let it slide of him saying completely different names of countries that are names of other countries when we're currently working on going to war with and for some of these countries? It just, it seems like we could get ourselves into some trouble if we let this guy keep opening his mouth. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what ultimately, when this is all said and done, dude. Yeah, he's a fall guy. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
So the United States is going to make some serious blunders for the next couple of years, and then the next strongman Republican guy that comes in can go, we can never be as weak as fucking Joe Biden, and they'll fucking swing that pendulum, and the appetite will be there, because I already feel it, with some of the, the liberal agenda, whatever you want to call it. Everybody feels it. Like, it's just regular people feel it. So the appetite, when this is all said and done, to be the greatest and biggest, best country in the world, it'll just be back to that. Nobody will want to be a fucking flaccid cock like fucking Joe Biden. You need a fucking strong man up there. So like the state will take advantage of that need, that hunger, right, at that point. And they'll just it was all his fault, all the liberal fault, all whatever,
Right. It's funny how they spent 4 to 6 years blaming Trump for everything, and even into now, they're still blaming Trump for things that Joe Biden is directly responsible for. I'm not saying Donald Trump is not at fault for some things, but at some point you gotta, I don't know, put on your Depends and be a big boy and get out there and take some responsibility for the entire economy and world collapsing around you in your presidency. But maybe I'm being hyperbolic. That's okay. It's my show. But it's interesting because he brought up some points that let's see. Let's play a game, Dave. Who do you think said, between Donald Trump and Joe Biden last night at the State of the Union address, who do you think said automobile manufacturing needs to come back to America, and everybody started chanting USA, USA, USA? Do you think that was Donald Trump?
That's got to be Donald Trump.
It sounds like Donald Trump, but
that sounds like it.
No, sorry, it was Joe Biden. Who do you think said
Joe Biden?
Who do you think was
bringing back Steel City? All right.
Yep, everything's going back to America. It sounds pretty xenophobic to me, but he talked about insulin and meds being too expensive. He said let Medicare lower the price. Joshua was there. He was a little boy that was there, and Joe Biden pointed him out and said gave this big sob story about how his insulin is too expensive, and insulin is expensive, and that it's a different.
If only Joe Biden was based out of a place where Big Pharma was based for the past 40 years, while he was a senator, that he could have maybe championed their causes then.
No, we're gonna do it now, though. Definitely right now. I posted last night because he was like, and it's Joshua's birthday too. Happy birthday, Joshua. And I just posted, happy birthday, Joshua. You're a pawn. Good job. Someday you'll look back on this and realize that your entire existence was used for the corruption of the corruption of a politician to, to feel good about things that he hasn't even accomplished. He's like, his shit's too expensive. Now go home and die, son. Happy birthday. Like, you're not fixing the problem by saying that somebody's having a hard time with their expenses, but okay.
Nope. It's a good way to get more money towards the programs that you're interested in, though.
Right. Now, Donald Trump went on to say, I'm a capitalist, okay, but capitalism without competition is not capitalism. It's exploitation that drives up prices, okay?
That was really great. Really great.
Thank you. That was actually Joe Biden. Just a really bad impersonation, but yeah, he's saying things that I agree with, but I don't agree with them because I know that you're full of shit because you just said the opposite things on all these things like 6 months ago. You can't just change your mind overnight.
Just tell me what to say, whatever it takes. That's what I'm saying.
It's like it got to the point where it's just so damn obvious. If anybody out there believes what this guy is saying in this speech, you're just a fucking idiot. Like, even the most hopeful white-pilled person who's like, oh, Biden will come around, like, even the most hopeful person doesn't watch this and go, oh, Biden just changed his mind, and now suddenly he likes all the things that he was calling racist last week. Like, it's just, like, he goes on to say the solution is not, okay, actually, I do have a clip of this one. Let me refresh it because it's Twitter before I jump over to it and make an idiot of myself. Let's see. Hold up, bud. All right. In talking about the police, the honorable president who got elected on the ideas of defunding the police had this to say.
Some of you that have been around for a while I've worked with you on these issues for a long time. I know what works. Investigating crime prevention and community policing, cops who walk the beat, who know the neighborhood, and who can restore trust and safety. Let's not abandon our streets or choose between safety and equal justice. Let's come together and protect our communities, restore trust, and hold law enforcement accountable. That's why the Justice Department has required body cameras, banned chokeholds, and restricted no-knock warrants for its officers. That's why the American Rescue Plan that you all provided $350 billion that cities, states, and counties can use to hire more police, invest in more proven strategies.
Oh, wait.
I love bipartisanship, dude. When it just really, when you get it, right?
It gets better. It's funny because you see like some Republicans just like wake up like, oh shit, we are gonna clap for that. Okay, like all right,
I like
cool.
money.
Proven strategies like.
All right. That's about enough.
Like community violence interruption, trusted messengers, breaking the cycle of violence and trauma, and giving young people some hope. We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them.
We should all agree.
Where did this even come from? Like,
yep. This is the time to do
straight
it, though.
reversal. Like, this is insane, straight up reversal. Not, hey, maybe we were a little bit, got a little bit carried away on all that defund the police stuff. Maybe we should, backpedal that a little bit. No, this is, you guys are crazy. I never said that. I was saying, hey, we need to fund the police. We need to refund the police, guys. That'll work.
Ugh, that's gross, man. And as somebody who, again, Wilmington, Delaware is 8 minutes from here. That's where it's the only major city in the whole state. It's where all the business happens, and it's destroyed, man. Like he could, again, 50 years, Delaware politician. Come on, man. Too little, too late. Like you said, you could say anything, do anything the next couple of years. It wouldn't make this better, man. There's like cop that bullshit about you get to know your neighborhood. Like, stop telling stories from 1952.
Right.
That is the warrior cop is out there now, not the neighborhood police officer.
Right.
And they're out to crack skulls in cars that are all black. So stop it. So you were saying earlier, he's tricking these people, and I was telling, Facebook, all these people. I gotta say, I think that the majority of the people that are buying his brand tend to be like 60 and over.
Yeah.
Liberals.
They're
like
his peers.
Yeah. So I do think it's waning, man. There's something about his like 1970s and 80s shtick that like older people enjoy, and he's saying some of the things, so I guess it's okay. Whatever.
He was like the progressive guy a minute ago, though. He was like, hey, I know that I did all that terrible stuff that would be considered hard alt-right today, but I'm not that anymore. I'm progressive and forward-thinking. I got a black woman.
Easy, right? Listen, that's exactly
that's all he did.
What a scumbag like Joe Biden would do. Yo, you just tell me what you want to do. You want a black chick for the vice president? No problem. I'll get you a black chick. This is like,
if that don't work, I'll bring the cops back in. They'll beat the shit out of the black chick. I don't care. Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Exactly. And she is law enforcement.
Right.
She wants to crack skulls too.
Yep.
They're both a couple of fucking iron box, stuff suits. Both of them. They're two peas in a pod.
Absolutely. And this video, we're not going to play the whole thing, but this video was going around today, right after Joe Biden said we're going to, he didn't say refund the police, but I like saying refund the police better because I'm chaotic neutral. Like anything that just causes confusion, I'm down amongst, the establishment. Yes, refund the police. Does that mean we give them money? They give us, we return some, I don't know, whatever. But this is what they were saying, like, yesterday.
So we've been talking about defunding the police.
There's some issues that we ask police to do, like mental health issues or policing in schools and all the rest, that perhaps we can shuffle some of that money around.
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Mayor Eric Garcetti saying, take some of the money from policing, about $150 million.
I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
So yes, defund your butts. Defund you.
Yes, I support the reallocation of resources.
Just for those people listening in the future that are like, you guys are crazy. Nobody was ever crazy enough to completely say defund the police, were they? Yes. Yes, they were in Congress. And I mean, there's a discussion to be had over what needs to happen with the police, because I certainly don't think just dumping a bunch more money in it is going to make it any better either. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the hypocrisy of these motherfuckers who are standing up, clapping like robotic reptilian seals when Joe Biden just said the exact opposite thing to their entire message of yesteryear. But shit, I keep hitting the wrong button. But yeah, how do you think the history books will write any of this stuff down? Like, this is something I've been pondering lately, especially through all of COVID and with this war and everything. Like, we know that history books are written by the winners, and also that all changes over time. Even whoever won, somebody else is going to write about that, and they're going to completely put their own spin on it. Whatever. Everybody's had political leanings since the beginning of time, I'm sure, to some degree. So how do you think they'll write? What do you think the headlines in the history books will be about COVID and Joe Biden and the police, since that's what we're talking about?
Yeah, good call, man. I think it'll be mostly in bullet points. So I think, like, it'll be Trump came, made America great. Joe Biden came, destroyed that. Right? This is already ridiculous that it wasn't great, and then I made it great, and then I left, and then the Democrats made it this way again.
Right.
But I think that will be, again, how it goes. We will be brought down to our knees. The state uses chaos to create order, always. So I think that'll be kind of the long-term plan. But they'll demonize both sides, right? Like, the left will call your Republican neighbor a terrorist, and the right will call somebody who aligns with, Antifa or whatever, a terrorist. They'll be happy to do that. And the government will love that, because that will allow them to place almost everybody in America in a new legal category, which doesn't really give much credence to, your constitutionally guaranteed rights.
Right.
So that's what I think that they want to do ultimately. Don't know how I got off on that tangent a little bit.
It's all good. It's what we do here.
That's what I feel is the major move. I feel like it'll probably be Trump again. He will come back.
It will be so fucking fascinating if it is Trump again, because we will have Joe Biden in the White House for 8 years with Barack Obama, and then Trump in for 4 years, and everybody's saying he destroyed everything that Barack Obama built, and then basically Barack Obama negative 2.0 with Joe Biden in the White House for 4 years. So we'll have this back-to-back-to-back comparison of these things, and I'm not pushing for Trump 2024 by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's a bumbling buffoon who just gets worse by the day, but he's definitely less of a bumbler than this guy, and it'll just be incredible to have that real-time comparison, because for, like, when I was a kid, you didn't really think it was like somebody got elected, so now they're going to be president for the next 8 years. And by the time they're done, it's like, it's all them, and we kind of just, move on to the next thing. So it's back and forth, but it's these longer stretches. With it being 4 years, you've got kids now who are like 12, 13, 14, who are coming up under the Trump years, and then the Biden years, and then they're going to have the Trump years, and they'll be able to see, like, what the differences were. And I don't know. I'm not saying that's I don't know. I do think Trump was better, and I do think I would prefer Trump. I didn't think that they'd be able to find somebody who would make me miss Trump so much, because I really didn't like the guy. But they're really managing.
So dude, listen, and I'm always analyzing stuff. So obviously, I feel the same way, but I take into consideration that they know what is red meat for us.
Right.
Like, okay, if we're two people that view typically either side as just, whatever, the old adage, two wings of the same bird.
Two wings of the same plane crash. Yeah.
Right. Well, listen, this guy comes along, at least he smashes the faith in the media and a little bit in the government, and he gives you some awesome fucking tweets that are funny, and like, it's just
right.
There's some appeal there. So I'm with you, but I don't know. I'm always like
in the streets based on nothing if he is the president.
Yes, but like the other side will have the world's biggest celebration.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So it's exactly what they want. I think, it's just that pendulum that they keep kind of everybody to some degree is happy playing the underdog for a while and then playing the top dog.
Right.
And then you play it's like this kind of thing that like it's a different kind of energy, but
yeah.
I think they're both very well suited for it.
Yeah. I tend to believe that. I think all this stuff's rigged and doesn't really matter anyway, but it's all divisive strategy. But this speech kind of makes me go, I don't know. They're really begging. They're begging and scraping in the polls. So he later on he's talking about his Supreme Court justice nominee, who is a black woman. I don't
be.
know. Yeah, of course. I don't know anything else about her because that's the only thing that they think we care about, apparently. She might be a great Supreme Court justice pick. I have no idea. So not dogging that or anything. It's just I want to judge her based on her merit, not the color of her skin. I thought that was the idea. But Joe Biden came out a couple weeks ago.
He did say, and it will be a black woman, no matter who.
Before he even said who it was, just said it's gonna be a black one. I don't know who it is, but they're gonna be good at their job. Right? They're gonna be good at their job, and they're gonna be a black woman. Don't you worry. But in the middle of him saying, "Hey, check out my Supreme Court pick" or whatever, he just slipped in there something about her having a good track record with cops, and then he said, "And also, we need to secure our border and fix the immigration system."
Did it get thunderous applause?
Yes, everybody stood up and cheered. Like everybody who said that this was that talk point, which was a direct Trump talk point, was completely racist, xenophobic, and you name it. Like 2 years ago, now it is the Democrat talk point.
This could be a lawyerly. I mean, he is a Delaware lawyer, which is a scummy lawyer. So you can say with a straight face and be telling the truth, even, "Hey, we're gonna problem down there, right? We gotta fix the problem."
Right.
If you're not specific, like they might be thinking that the problem is kids in cages, where Joe Biden really means that we need way more Department of Homeland Security trucks and all these things, troops at the border, or hey, we're going to finish this wall.
Right.
But if you just say, yeah, problems, right? We'll fix the problems.
Yep.
Sure.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of we're just going to do it without explanation as to how. And I've got a whole list of some of his the magic he's planning to that he's got in the works. That with no, plan. But yeah, just I don't know. What's he going to do? Finish the wall? Is he going to, are we really going there? Because I thought it was.
Bet you he'll finish the wall. Because that's what the state would do. The state wants the wall.
Yeah.
It's not up to the guy who pitched the idea.
Right.
That's a salesman. These guys are all salesmen.
Who built the cages, Joe? Who built the wall, Trump? Like, everybody's just like picking up everybody else's dirt and using it against them. But I don't know. Like, we don't have to get too deep into it. It's totally a full topic for an entire episode. But what's your stance on borders and that type of stuff?
I mean, we could have the philosophical discussion, or we can talk about the real life discussion. I always preface it with that, right?
Sure.
We're in the greatest, largest statist paradigm ever devised. So
yeah.
Do I think it's good to have in the system that we live in? Would it be good to just abandon the border and just let anybody who wanted to come in? No, because I value sovereignty over lots of other things.
Sure.
So
like individual freedom, Dave? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that, someone
over skin color? Is that what you're saying, Dave?
Any skin color can come and chill out. I like multiculturalism. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
And I'm not certainly for state management of borders, but I do think that, for people that live in Texas, like that's completely negligent of a government that is supposed to, at least, right, according to the social contract, look out for your liberty, your freedom, you know? So that's something, I mean, that's a tough one. Like we said, the borders are tough, and the abortion issue is tough because there's arguments on both sides. But no, man, sovereignty, both down to the individual, but states and neighborhoods and cities, municipalities, they all have rights.
Yeah.
So
I think the debate is kind of stupid anyway, because none of these things are happening anytime soon. Like, I go both ways on it. Like, I listened to the Spike Cohen versus Dave Smith debate on the borders issue, and I'm just like, both. Like, you both made excellent points, and I agree with you both. And also, none of it matters, no matter what I think. It's not going to change anything that's happening. Not that, like, I know that's kind of a cop-out, but yeah, like, I get both sides of the argument fully, but I feel like, the open borders argument is a little bit more philosophical, just, hey, this magical thing will happen and it'll all go wonderfully and beautifully. I don't know if it would or wouldn't. And frankly, when it comes to, I had this conversation on somebody else's show recently. I don't remember whose, but just not about borders in particular, but just like on the libertarian stuff. I know this is heretical, but if something is tried and it's in the name of liberty and it's like more liberty and then it fails and people are dying, me personally, I'm not a libertarian anymore. Like, it's like everybody wishes communists would learn from history. If libertarians get the chance and it doesn't really work out, like, all this stuff seems like I think it would work out. But if we try it and it doesn't work, then we got to go back to the drawing board. So, I mean, it's all just hypothetical, utopian, whatever. We got the keys to unlock the gates of hell, and we're just going to free everybody. If everybody suddenly did start hatefully lynching people and racistly lynching people, then yeah, we would have to figure out some different sort of solution. And I think libertarians need to be more realistic about stuff like that. I'm not saying, like, I don't know, we just treat this thing as so much a religion, and you are committing heresy if you say something like, I'm a libertarian until I see that it doesn't work, like, or until I'm persuaded. I am open to that. This is not like a religion that I'm going to go to heaven if I believe it long and hard enough. Like, I think if I fight my whole life and spend my entire life going to political conventions and doing all these things, and there's zero more freedom for people in the world, then did I waste my entire life? I don't know. These are just things that I've been pondering.
I know. I fucking get it, dude. Honestly, I can relate a lot, because it is
more on this topic might come about at the Delaware convention. I will apparently be speaking there. I hear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. No,
dude,
no.
Let's stop what
they
we
cut
were
my
talking
mic.
about and talk about that. That's what
I'm
we
down.
should be talking about.
I'm down. We can take a quick break.
No, I love it. I just think that, yeah, that's very exciting news. Stan Smotz is going to be in Delaware hanging out the 26th at our convention. We got Scott Horton coming out. No better time for that.
And Adam Nutter.
And Adam Nutter is going to be doing some comedy during dinner.
So one guy is going to give an amazing speech. Another guy is going to try to make jokes. And I'm going to be there also.
Dude, yo, you're a celebrity in Delaware, man. Yeah,
it's a niche market, but
we're
own
big
it.
fan. Yep, you certainly do. And yeah, we're very appreciative of your show and your. Dare I say? I mean, in our niche market, dude. I mean, that was some necessary journalism.
Sure.
That took place, and yeah, we're grateful for that.
And
I'll
thank
be there
you.
forever, man.
I would like to cordially thank Will McVeigh for coming on this show and affording me the opportunity to go speak to the official Libertarian Party of the state of Delaware. Thank you. Anyway, back to Biden, the most important thing in the world, obviously. But by the way, yeah, if you're in the area, come out. Do you want to give the details on that while we have them thinking about it? I did have one guy hit me up that I have never met in real life. He's been listening to this show since the beginning. And he's like, hey, I'm like an hour and a half from there. I'm probably coming. So that's cool. Dave's going to be there. I'm going to be there.
That's one of the coolest parts about Delaware. It's 1.5 hours from Baltimore, 2 hours from DC. If you're in Philly, you can get there real easy. If you're in Jersey, even New York, it's like two hours away.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of opportunity for people to come out and meet you and have some chicken marsala and some drinks with us. And yeah, Scott Horton, man, it's at the Blackbird Community Center in Townsend, Delaware. Yeah, it's a one-day thing. Oh, and if you get a chance, go to lp-delaware.org. We're having a theme contest.
Yeah.
And those guys in Florida, the LPMC guys got their McVention face in there. That's the winner so far. So please give us some money so that we can have another convention name. If not that would be great.
Yeah. Democracy doesn't always work, but you know,
they're great dudes. We appreciate it.
I might just go drop in like $500 and just make it like the Will McVeigh convention or something like that, just so I can win and piss everybody off. Anyway,
everything's
whatever.
On the table.
Yes. So what's the date on that again for the people?
That is March 26th.
Right on.
It's a Saturday.
Cool. I'm very much looking forward to it, and yeah, it'll be fun. So my cat, now your dog. Whenever
She's losing it.
Sure. If you ever need to like go take care of her, feel free. But
yeah, just put her down.
just take care of it, man. You know what I mean. So yeah, we've got all that fun MAGA stuff in Biden's speech, finishing the wall, cops, funding the cops, Joshua's birthday, I don't know, whatever. But he talked about inflation, which I thought was some of the most fascinating stuff that he even talked about, because this guy is he's running the country, I'm pretty sure, and his knowledge on inflation is amazing. He's worked in politics his entire adult life, and so let me just read through a couple things that he said, and you can let me know if you think he's lying out his ass or if he's retarded. So on the topic of inflation, Joe Biden bragged about the 6.5 million new jobs that are now out there up and running. How
unprecedented.
Now, what he didn't mention was that during that pandemic, that was like a self-inflicted pandemic as far as like lockdowns and not opening businesses. You shut down all the businesses, and just because you let them open back up again doesn't make them new jobs. That makes them jobs, like things that you took away. It's like such a government tactic. You take away something, you give them back part of something, and you say, see, I'm helping. I gave, like Spike Cohen always says, they break your leg and then they hand you a crutch. Like, I'm helping.
How to lie with statistics, right? They know damn well what they're doing.
Absolutely. He also said, while he was talking about inflation, he said, I wish I had the clip for this, because my jaw dropped when he was talking about inflation so many times. He said, lower your cost, not your wages.
Oh, I saw that.
Just do it, guys.
In the highlights. Look, all you got to do
to lower inflation, we're going to start by lowering the inflation, and then we'll just see where things go. Like,
this appeals to the people who think that inflation is happening because of corporate greed.
Right. It's capitalism.
Yeah. Look, through this pandemic where people need these services. These chicken farmers are just take cow, beef farmers. Yeah, they're just assholes. They want to get more for the beef now. Like, it's like
like everybody who's selling anything across the country right now, we're all colluding together to raise our prices. Like, it's just a big coincidence that we all happen to have to raise our prices at the same time. It's our fault. It's Walmart's fault that, oh my God. Like, the fact that this is coming out of the President of the United States' mouth and people are buying it, it leaves me stunned. I know that most people don't know about economics, and I'm certainly no whiz on economics by any stretch, but just saying, hey, the first thing that you guys need to do is lower your prices. And also, he goes on to talk about how we're going to raise the minimum wage. That'll help with inflation. So lower your prices, raise the minimum wage, pay your people more, and then suddenly the inflation will go away. I mean, you'll all be bankrupt because that doesn't make any logical sense, but at least inflation will go away. Also on inflation, he said, we're going to lower the price of drugs and drug manufacturers. Okay, let me start over. We're going to lower the price of drugs, and drug manufacturers' profit margins are going to do very, very well. Like he emphasized it. Very, very well. So we're going to lower the cost of drugs magically somehow. Or I guess we're going to force it. And then the drug manufacturers are going to make more money? Can you...
Dude,
You're older than me. You're wiser. Maybe you know something about economics I don't.
Eat shit, but all right, cool.
I said wiser.
No. Thank you. I'll take it.
I mean, older doesn't obviously mean wiser necessarily, because...
No, it doesn't. It's not a given.
I mean...
Dude, I saw that Apple is not going to do business with Russia, and I saw Warner Brothers is not shipping Batman over there. So these like $1 billion things. I think this is the new way, dude. You're gonna start to see the woke capitalism will take shape because it's all merging together. The technocratic, corporate, fascist state. Mm-hmm. So like Walmart will play They'll play ball. Like, yeah, we're committed. I saw Target is going to pay people $24 an hour in New York and some other cities.
$24 an hour?
$24 an hour to go sell Chinese crap. Because why start your own? Well, if you can, even. But like, yeah, why start your own business? Why make your own content? Why continue your education?
Oh, but we can't sell Chinese crap because we're bringing all the manufacturing home too. The manufacturing is coming back to America, and it's going to be cheaper, and people are going to make more.
Listen, as
and the minimum wage is going to go up.
my dad was a union carpenter, so this is something that I can tell you as being the old guy in the room right now. That's something that they say every State of the Union, every single fucking time. Oh, we got to bring jobs back, and it's like since I can remember since NAFTA, because that was all my dad was talking about as somebody who built shit in America. And I didn't care at the time. I was a kid and fell in deaf ears to a lot of people, but
sure.
And it's kind of nationalistic in nature, but buy American. We should buy American. He would buy Zenith TVs because it was the only TV made in America. He was, that was the tip he was on.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But it's not going to make your prices go down.
I'm not a protectionist, right? And I think there's a danger in having 90% of our antibiotics made in other countries. I think that might be a national security issue, and the fact that we have become a service based economy over the past 40 years, 50 years, there's a reason for that. And that is to leave us dependent on who? Dependent on other people making shit. Who's that? That's China. That's the World Economic Forum. That's the UN, right?
They're fucking Russia. Like, it's
right,
the people that
want to play ball,
getting pissed off at us. I don't know. It's going to go great, I'm sure. Russian vodka now. Like, they're pulling it off the shelves in Canada, and I'm sure it's coming here. Just because that'll help. Like
freedom fries, bro. That's what it reminds me of. These fucking nerd, the nationalistic vibe is coming from the left though this time. To show our solidarity, we're gonna smash this bottle of Stoli that I already paid for.
Right.
You ingrate. Like it's just so dumb.
And it wouldn't be this appalling if they didn't spend 4 years bashing on Trump as a xenophobe and a racist for the exact same things that they're applauding Joe Biden for now. Like, it's not ancient history when like 100 years ago Nancy Pelosi supported somebody who was like closed borders and now she's open borders or vice versa. Like, we're talking about last month these people were saying different things than what they're applauding right now and just acting like it's perfectly fine. But we're also cutting the cost of childcare. Just gonna do it. We're gonna lower the price of electric cars somehow. That's Joe Biden's inflation plan. So he went on to talk about taxes. And on taxes, he said, no one is going to make less than 400,000, or no one making less than 400,000 will see their taxes go up. Where I feel like I've heard this before from, I don't know, every single person in the White House ever. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Tax the rich. Of course, that's the solution always. They do pay I think it's 50% of all the taxes, but the 1% is just not doing enough. What is enough? Like, he goes on to talk about, we all know that the present tax system ain't fair. We need to do our the elites basically need to do our fair share, which is funny when you're talking to a room full of politicians that are all getting paid by the state and aren't doing their taxes all that well from what we've seen throughout history. So maybe, you got to give him credit. At least he's speaking to the right people, because most of them are right there that are, against what he's saying right now. I don't know. What do you think goes through these people's minds when they applaud higher taxes for themselves, as though that's something that they want?
So yeah, I think the majority of the taxes that are paid by Americans are Americans that make, $250,000 to $500,000 a year, say.
Yeah.
So if you make 10 million or 100 million or $1 billion, you're not paying income tax.
Right.
Right. So that's why, dude, that most liberals and progressives are white collar workers who are willing to at least, put on the front that they're, hey, yeah, sure, I'll pay more taxes. Like, the elites know that. They know that they are going to subsidize the poor, and that the poor will have they'll just be kept there. Like that's where real population control is happening. That's where, like, if you make, an individual makes less than, just say, especially if you have kids or whatever, and I'm sure there's where you live and there's different variables, but if you're in and around the poverty level, gas prices going up $2 a gallon will change your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A
I know.
traffic ticket can change your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you really, I think, population control gets done at that, like, the lower class level. I mean, it's a class system, right? They just call it whatever. But then there's the middle class who really pays for shit. And then there are the elites who just siphon.
Right.
And everybody gets used again. Ponzi scheme. If you look at it like a pyramid, right?
Right.
Check her down.
Oh, yeah. You talked about trickle down economics isn't working. We need to go bottom up and middle out and this and that. And it's like, how? What are you? How many times do we have to hear these exact same things out of, just take the mask off, put on a Donald Trump mask, take this mask off, put on an Obama mask. It's like the same thing. And it's funny that they tried the progressive route. They tried it. They gave it their best shot. And now they're just like, fuck that. We're going back to the things that Americans seem to agree on, for better or worse. It's just pulling out dusting off the old Donald Trump card and going, let's see what got the votes here, and we're going with that. Just coincidentally, right before election season. But
yep.
Let me see, where were we? So he said on taxes, so that's my plan, but we'll go into more detail later. It's like, could you give a little more, just a little bit more now, just a little bit of detail, just fair share for wealthy people. And that's my plan. Thank you for clapping. We'll talk about that later more when I figure it out. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of, we're going to do this someday. Magic is going to happen. And I'm getting ahead of myself. But he said, let's get this done. We all know we got to make changes. Yes. Whatever. You went on to say.
So by the way, Nancy Pelosi makes $200,000 a year. But she's worth $220 million.
Yeah.
So these guys in this audience are not worried about their salary getting taxed. It's it's a privileged club to get to go in so you can insider trade with all these assholes.
Right.
So they're not worried about that. So yeah.
I mean, their career, their front-facing job that they do is really more like their side hustle. They're making their money in other pockets. They just have that. It's like this podcast. I don't make that much off this podcast, but it affords me the ability to work with different people, meet a lot of people, promote my video business and all that type of thing. That's what these people are doing, but they're calling themselves servants of the people, public servants or whatever. And it seems like you said, Nancy Pelosi, she's just there so that she can make sure her other jobs keep working out properly that are running behind the scenes that nobody knows about.
The mafia might own a hardware store that does legitimate hardware sales.
Right.
It also, is their
government is just a giant money laundering scheme in every aspect.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything that in all of this, we've come a long way in this Biden thing. Is there anything that you notice that's kind of missing from this conversation? Something that's been a big to-do for the last 2 years or so? It was the most important thing, the only thing that we've talked about for 2 years.
I remember it, but that was so last week, bro.
I know.
We're so over it.
He got to it, though.
Okay, good.
Somewhere toward the end of his speech.
I hope he took credit for destroying it.
Well, of course he did. In all of this, we talked about Ukraine, we talked about taxes, we talked about all these different things. At the end, then he's like, that pandemic that's wiping out the entire population of the world, allegedly, that pandemic that's so dangerous that I had to destroy every life, and when I'm God, everyone dies. He finally got to that because it apparently wasn't the most pressing thing on his mind for some reason, and he announced the chief prosecutor of pandemic fraud, which I think is interesting, and I'm guessing that they're going to use it to attack their political opponents. They will not use it against J.B. Pritzker, who they said governors who were misappropriating funds from the COVID relief shit. J.B. Pritzker did that. Also, the Iowa governor did it, or she did it a little bit, she used it for some salaries when things weren't going well or something. And I think like that was going through the news yesterday too. So I'm guessing they're going to attack people like that who were kind of against the pandemic bullshit, but didn't use things exactly how they were supposed to be. Not J.B. Pritzker, who took $100,000 and donated it, or $300,000 and donated it to the local Black Lives Matter chapter. Yeah. So what do you think the role of chief prosecutor of pandemic fraud is going to be, and how valuable to our society will this person be?
Wow, he announced this during the State of the Union?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's
if
it's a new position that he made, or if he just appointed somebody new to that position. But he said, "I'm announcing our chief prosecutor of pandemic fraud." I think it sounded like it was a new position, but I could be wrong.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm skeptical always. And it sounds like the guy who will do some cleanup and maybe go after, like, they handed out a lot of money.
Right.
So I wonder if they're going to come and like collect some of that shit, or like, you know, I don't know, maybe based on, if I know the state, and I think I do, maybe they'll go after certain groups. Oh yeah, we noticed that you got, you know, whatever, $30,000 for your business in 2021.
Right.
Well, we'd like to start collecting on that or whatever.
We'll have that back now.
This whole
Thank
thing's
you.
over with. Yeah, no more virus, so
we don't need to look good anymore. We don't need to look friendly, so we can come take it back. Government solutions for you. But he said COVID cases are down. Most people don't need to wear masks anymore, apparently. What changed? I'm not entirely sure, but he said, you know, pretty much all businesses don't have to wear masks in most schools. He said, thanks to the progress we've made, COVID need no longer control our lives. So, yes, he is taking credit. Because of everything that Joe Biden has done, all of his progress, we don't need to let COVID control our lives anymore. Like,
where's Fauci? I haven't seen that guy in weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he at? Is he going to disagree, or is he go, yes, Rand Paul was right. Everything is fine.
I imagine he'll fade into the woodwork again, and I highly doubt the chief prosecutor of pandemic fraud is going to go sniffing around the only places that he really should be.
Right.
But yeah, just beautiful that he's taking credit for COVID, or he's taking credit for the end of COVID. He says vaccines and pills still give the best treatment, so they're still beating that drum. Even though it doesn't matter, even though it's basically gone, they're like I said, keep it in the back of your mind. This might come back. You know, if this whole war thing with Russia doesn't pan out the way we planned, like if we're not able to spend enough there, just know there might be something coming down the road. And don't forget, wear your mask, socially distance, do all these things, and get your vaccine. And pills now too.
Bro, Bill Gates got more of these things. He knows exactly what they do, what percentages will be. So yeah. I mean, that's why like I said, I'm enjoying the day. So there's no part of me that thinks that this is over. We're not going to hear about another, you know, but I will enjoy the day for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, celebrate when Joe Biden allows us to have a beautiful spring afternoon without masks.
Dude, all my favorite meme to share whenever they lift mandates or whenever they decree that we can go about our lives is that it's Arsenio Hall from Coming to America. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
Yes.
I love it. It's good.
It's great.
Good to drop. Keep in your back pocket.
Yeah, and of course he said we must prepare for new variants. So keep a little bit of fear in there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be afraid. He said it's time for America to get back to work. And the way he said it was almost like we've been choosing not to. It was like, it's time for you guys. Get off your lazy asses. Get out there. Get back to work. It's like, love to, bud.
You destroyed my life.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sorry, I don't have a job anymore because people decided that they didn't need vape juice during the apocalypse. I don't know. Let me see, where am I? He said, we can't change how divided we've been. It was a long time coming. I don't even know what this was in reference to. I think it's how divided we've been over COVID, but how was that a long time coming? And weren't you supposed to be bringing this unity? Wasn't that the entire point of your whole campaign and everything was unity, unity, unity? I made a shirt that says Unity Camp 2021 or something because that was all they were talking about was unity.
Yeah,
but he's like,
Defy America. Yeah.
He's like, we can't change how divided we've been. But you said you were gonna, and also it was coming from. I'm just lost as to which lie to believe these days. He said, we're going to take on mental health, especially for kids whose lives have been turned upside down. So they're going to take on mental health because they care about the mental health, especially of kids who suffered during COVID. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, did we fuck up your kids over the past couple of years? Do us a favor. Bring us your kid. We'll take a look.
We'll take a look. Also, we're going to raise your taxes so that you can pay for your kid to go to a mental health treatment because of the COVID brainwashing that we imparted on them over the last years that your taxes paid for.
Mental health that's a good area to apply the COVID contact tracers infrastructure.
What do
you know, when they talk about defunding the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking serious. So like that sounds like something they would do, that they would use contact tracers to send over like a state Department of whatever, Health and Social Services officer who's allowed to do certain things, maybe trained in certain ways, but you know, to de-escalate situations. I could see that becoming a way of the future.
Yeah.
That's
So
terrifying.
you're meaning if explain further, like people with mental health, they would be tracking them, and that would be part of the system, or what are you saying?
So yeah, it's one of those things that they keep talking about. Oh, we need to look more into mental health.
Right.
I don't think that they're really just like they're not concerned with our physical health through this past 2 years. They're not concerned with our mental health either. But it's a really good way to get into your home.
Mm-hmm.
We've had where there's alerts that there's a mental and that could mean so many things.
Yeah.
And we've already
red flag
determined,
laws
right?
And shit.
These guys are all scumbag lawyers. So they've already determined that it's legally permissible to mandate through our corporate whatever apparatus, our governors that we have, to mandate that you take certain drugs.
Yeah.
So like again, I'm not saying this is going to happen in the next year or two, but 2030.
But it might. Things go more quickly these days than they used to.
How about some Prozac in the water supply? Like we've noticed that people are mentally disturbed in this area. So mental health can be being a Republican. In my opinion, like they could use that, like, or whatever. That makes you an extremist.
I mean, it makes you a terrorist. So yeah, it could make you
you enjoy freedom. Well, guess what? That shit's fucking off limits now, and we're trying to make that word the worst word ever. So if that could be a mental health thing. Libertarian mental health. Go get him out of his house.
That's right.
I don't like it, Dan.
We're not that far off. Yeah, I think you're onto something. And anytime government acts concerned for anything to do with your well-being, either they just want money and they want to convince you that they care so that they can get your money, or there's even more nefarious things that they have in mind. Yeah. It's never about the thing that they're saying it's about. And always keep that in mind when they're talking about mental health, because you've got like red flag laws where, people push for, if a man and a woman break up, the woman can say, hey, this dude's mentally unstable, go take his guns away. And they will, and then they'll just figure it out later. And even Donald Trump supported that type of shit, didn't he?
Yeah, dude. And again, when you look big picture, safety is what they call, that's their rallying cry for tyranny. Safety, in the name of public safety.
Right.
It's like the enemy of public liberty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because of safety, we had to fucking lock you in this cage or put you in your house. You can't go to work because of public safety. So yeah, if you're mentally ill, that's a danger to public safety.
Yep.
And I think they would absolutely just that could be the next thing if climate change isn't quite ready to.
Well, this won't bring you any more comfort when he said, why should anyone, so this is talking about guns, he said, why should anyone on the terrorist list get to buy a gun? Why? And then everybody applauded their asses off. It's like, well, maybe because your terrorist list is made by people who use that word really loosely these days to describe just anybody that they don't like. Anybody who, walks in a certain area the wrong way, or has a certain political leaning, or, I don't know, posts a joke, the wrong kind of joke on Twitter. That's enough for you to get on a terrorist list. And, maybe there is a reason for terrorists to have these guns at certain times. What do you think?
You're right,
I know what
man.
you think. I know what you think.
And you know exactly what I think. Everyone is and I always think back to John Brennan a year and a half ago, or as soon as Biden was elected. It was in January, I think.
It was like day 2.
And he just yeah, right. He just rattled off that list. Like, okay, like 1/6 was over. Like they compartmentalized this thing and said, yeah, this group, but it's not just this group. It's this. It makes up an axis of evil, right? Like
exactly.
All these groups that talk about anything in this realm, and even libertarians, right? That's it, man. This is all you need for the legal realm to classify anybody who uses terms like freedom or liberty or independent. You know, that's all you need. If that's it, then we're already there. So, I don't know. I think back to like 2019, bro, when like France was having their yellow vest revolution. I think China was doing the same shit. Motherfuckers were getting jump kicked in the street. Cops, but
right.
They were really like, they were, you know, making some serious moves against the system, the global system. It's the same thing, man. And then we started seeing, you know, the rumors came out and China was going into homes and they were black bagging people. Remember those videos and like throwing them in vans and stuff. And everybody's going, well, yeah, I guess if you're sick and you got a virus, you got to do what you got to do. Like it's
you got to beat people up if they're sick, obviously.
Right. Dude, this looks like a great way to round up dissidents, and you'll never hear about it again.
Yep.
You know, it will creep in like this, man.
Oh, hey, my package came, and I guess I didn't have to sign for it. Sweet. Nice. Okay.
Special delivery.
Okay.
I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, I got a new lens that I've been meaning to get for a long time. I'm going to use it for some of these upcoming events. That'll be fun. But also on guns, he did say, and you'll get a kick out of this, he said, gun manufacturers are the only industry that can't be sued.
Oh, yeah? Is that right? The only
He said
one?
this, like, not only is it not the only one, but he's saying this, like, a week after Remington just lost their lawsuit on the Sandy Hook thing. Like, not only is it not true, but there might be one or two others that...
Why do you think he didn't celebrate that as a victory? That's interesting. You're right. I forgot about that. They did lose that, which is fucking crazy. We talked about that on one of your shows, too.
Yeah.
You'd think that would be like a, look what we did for all our hard work.
I think it's because then they wouldn't still be able to completely just flat out lie by saying gun manufacturers can't be sued, and they're the only ones that can't be sued. Like 2 lies for the price of 1, and we all know what the other one is that can definitely not be sued, because we've all been dealing with, you know, feelings of wishing we could sue certain corporations that shut down the entire world. Yeah, Big Pharma. Big Pharma cannot be sued, even if they do everything malpracticefully. They cannot be sued. But he went on to talk about voting. He said voting is under assault. Pass the Disclose Act so people know who's funding our elections. I just wrote down a couple notes. Voting is under assault somehow. Don't really know how. It's mostly racist because people can't get driver's licenses all of a sudden. But pass the Disclose Act so people can know who's funding our elections. I'm all for knowing who's funding our elections, but if it's called the Disclose Act, I'm sure that's exactly the opposite of what it'll do. Let's just breeze through some more of these. Talked about LGBTQ stuff. He said the onslaught of state laws targeting transgender Americans and their families is simply wrong. What are they?
Is he talking about Texas? I think they did some shit.
I would imagine so. And, like, I'm not asking in a douchey way. I legit am like, what are they? What are the specifics? Are they legitimately attacking transgenders with laws? And is it just the underage, like, transitioning or hormone therapy for kids thing? Is that
I think
attack?
I mean there was some man, I think that the governor in Texas said that if you're messing with puberty blockers, like that would be considered child abuse.
Yeah.
And according to Texas state law, child abuse would mean that we come and we get your kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you it's kind of fucked up. I have actually mixed feelings about it.
Right. Me too.
But
yeah, I'm not for either one of those things happening, frankly.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, we would all just, you know, not be fucked up in the head in every way. But he goes on to say on the trans youth thing, he says, I'll always have your back as your president so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential. I noticed that he brought up God a couple times. Like, he didn't seem to do that before, but now all of a sudden he's like, yeah, we're doing all these conservative things, and also, God bless everyone, and we're going to war, and it's just like trans kids out there. To all y'all listening, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of you, because you're a large percentage of the population, I know. Do you want Joe Biden having your back? Because, I don't know, children who Joe Biden gets behind don't seem to enjoy it most of the time, no matter what their gender is.
Nope.
No. I don't know.
You keep that guy off the kids.
Yep. He talked about social media. He had Frances Hogan there, or whatever her name is, that super brave whistleblower. Like, he was one of their props that they brought out and applauded and everything. She was the one who said, social media is bad for kids, and I'm exposing it. I'm a whistleblower, and the only solution is more censorship. Whistle blown.
Obvious, the front,
they're still pushing that. Like, people are buying it.
Oh, a government whistleblower that gets applauded by the government is a guaranteed fraud.
Yep. He said, thank you for the courage you showed. Yeah, like, she's a great whistleblower. She's totally getting the same treatment as people like Ross Ulbricht, Edward Snowden, and Julian Assange. I don't remember them ever getting invited to the State of the Union address and thanked for everything they've done.
I can't believe I forgot to tell you, and I don't know if you know this already, but this is your show, so I got to tell you. And we talked about her a little bit earlier. The nominee that Biden put up for Supreme Court presided over the James Alefantis Pizzagate trial. Go down the rabbit hole later, my friend.
The plot thickens. Yep. Tune in next week, guys, to find out exactly how deep the rabbit hole goes. No, I don't know what next week is going to hold. The world might not make it that far, but while we're here, Nancy Pelosi, we talked about this earlier. Now it's time to talk about the burn pits and how excited Nancy Pelosi gets about burn pits in Afghanistan, I'm pretty sure.
And our troops in Iraq have faced many dangers. One being stationed at bases breathing in toxic smoke from burn pits.
Yeah.
Many of you have been there.
What?
And our troops
What
in
is
Iraq.
happening right now?
Why are people applauding? First question. Second question, why is Nancy Pelosi thinking about applauding and not sure? Is she just not have the solidarity of Kamala Harris? So she's like, I'm just going to do the little burn pits boogie with Nancy Pelosi. Like, somebody, this is totally going to be clipped, and she's going to be putting dancing cat videos or something, because this, to the people listening to the audio, go watch this, do yourself a favor and a service, but at least find the video of Nancy Pelosi boogieing while Joe Biden talks about burn pits, and people applaud. Why are they applauding?
She was the first one to do it, too. It's like you have the luxury of looking at all of the other people in the whole house.
Right.
Why don't you wait for the signal? Unless she just legit was like, oh, my God, fucking burn pits.
It's like these people, like, their robots and their brain is not quite, it's not like the best technology. They just have a timer. And every, 30 seconds, their timer goes off and they have to stand up and applaud. Regardless of what is coming out of Joe Biden's mouth at that time, they're just going to stand up and all clap in unison. And there were a couple incidents like this where I think it was Chuck Schumer, somebody stood up, or they were like halfway up and then they went back down and then they like laughed and then they stood. Like, are you even applauding for something, or are you just applauding because it's time to applaud?
That's what it is. Somebody posted Chuck Schumer doing that, and they were like, "This is my dog when I fake the throw."
Yep. Let's watch Nancy boogie again. There she is. She just looks positively giddy that people are suffering from cancer. But that's your government for you. Damn it! Why do I keep pressing that button? So there's that.
Unbelievable. The knuckle thing is so weird, and she committed to it, so she like stayed even though it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and then I feel like other people may have clapped for that because she stood.
Right.
Like,
yeah, like she triggered everybody else's timer to go off early, and then she's like, "Let me rethink that and play this off." I totally meant to do whatever it is I'm doing here.
Burn pits, cancer-causing agents, yay!
Right. What do you know about Lauren Boebert? I don't know much, other than what happened last night.
I know that she's the hottest bitch I've ever seen. I don't know.
Fair.
I heard. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. She's totally butt ugly.
She's, I mean, you know, as far as Congress goes, that's a
if you showed me a picture of her, I wouldn't even know who it is. Like, yes, I've seen her as I was looking for this, and yeah, for Congress, yeah, she's definitely up there. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not even disagreeing with you. I couldn't even pick her out of a crowd if I had to.
You know, like America First, like she came in on that Trump train with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
I saw the picture of those guys yelling like they were singing "My Heart Will Go On."
Okay.
I mean, you know, they're, as far as I'm concerned, man, you know, they're not the best, but they're probably some of the best Republicans.
Sure.
Kind of, for lack of a better word, yeah, a little too on the evangelical side for my liking.
Yeah.
I think that can lead down some bad paths when you're in politics.
MTG's pretty based, man. I had my weird thoughts about her, but then
listen, I get it.
They were like slandering her, like, oh, she's a crazy conspiracy theorist, and I was like, oh, she's probably cool. But then I never really dug into it. Then she went on Tim Pool a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, she's got some good points. She's just like,
did
fuck
you
this
see
whole thing.
she just went and spoke at America First PAC, and she spoke at the Nick Fuentes event.
That's
so yeah, I
in the
I
after
believe her.
party notes. We're definitely going to talk about that. But
I have my own doubt. I doubt that she knew who he was. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
And even if she did, who cares? If she's there, like, what did she say? That's really all that matters. Like, not who she associated with. If Joe Biden went there and spoke and said, y'all are crazy, would they be like, oh, Joe Biden is supporting white nationalism? Like, I'm not going to judge the lady for like being there to speak, because maybe she said, y'all are fucking stupid. I don't know. I don't know what they were saying. I don't know what she was saying. It's just guilty by association bullshit.
Bro, I'm trying really hard to get Lauren Witzke on my show. She's a super, I mean, you know her?
No.
She's in that squad too. She tried to run for
She's in
Senate
the Nick Fuentes
Delaware.
squad? Is that what you're saying?
She's in, dude, she just said, she said on her own, she's got like a Christian Republican channel that she just started with some other guy, and she's local. So I follow her, and she also is like pretty good when it comes to the drug war. She used to be a drug mule, but she's fucking crazy. Like, she's into like conversion therapy, thinks that's reasonable.
Okay.
But she'll say stuff like the satanic globalist, you know, elite. She'll use language like that. So I could bro down with her on probably on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'm cool with this new brand of, you know, badass chicks coming in, and I mean, got to be watched because they're Republicans and they're not good on everything, and they're fucking crazy sometimes. But
and all these people, I mean, for everybody, like Joe Biden, I'll be like, yeah, if you say something I agree with, good. I don't trust it. I don't believe it. That's how we should kind of handle most of these people. And if they have a very untrustworthy track record, like Joe Biden, trust them even less. If they're just new and they're like saying some crazy shit, it's like, all right, we'll see where this goes. But Lauren Boebert, I found out this happened. I didn't know who it was. Nobody did. Then I figured out who it was after. It was Lauren Boebert, who, when Joe Biden's talking about the burn pits, Nancy Pelosi's favorite, and all that stuff, this happened.
Headaches, numbness, dizziness. A cancer that would put them in a flag draped coffin. I know. One of those.
Did you catch that?
What did she say?
She said 13 of them.
13 burn pits?
13 people, because he's talking about people dying in war and from cancers and burn pit, whatever. And she said 13 of them. I'm pretty sure she was referring to this. It was an apparent reference to the 13 members of the military who were killed in Afghanistan during a bombing outside the Kabul airport. So it's kind of funny because Joe Biden says, I don't like when people die in war, and I would know. So he's like pulling on the heartstrings. He's like, oh, my son died in war or died of, disease from war. And then she slipped it in right there, which seems like crass timing, and which makes me applaud it all the more. But what's your take on this?
Yeah, it feels like maybe she, because look, I mean, he's talking about the burn pits. He's not talking about that particular instance. So honestly, this is one of those things. It's weird that he's bringing it up, and it's like it feels weird coming from the head of the government who did the thing.
Yeah.
Like a mesothelioma commercial. Like, oh, it turns out we didn't know that, like, for 20 years, these burn pits would just give anybody within a 5-mile radius, like, deadly cancer, and they would die. Like, it's weird. So
it's kind of like, I don't know, like, her interrupting, I think, is pretty based, and also her bringing up the failures in Afghanistan is based. But it's like it doesn't really have anything to do with what he's specifically talking about at the moment, does it? Like,
you're right, though. He was getting ready to use his son, Bo, for political purposes, like he does all the time. It's fucking gross. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure anybody they can clutch the pearls because she said something. It just seemed like a little out of time, or she thought maybe he was talking about something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
More shit.
We need more chaos. We need more like I'm not saying that we need more like the Canadian government, but maybe how they handle their, their scream matches in Congress or whatever they have.
Oh, it's coming, dude. If that's what you're looking for, I think we're going to see more like that. We're going to see like, within 10 years, we'll see like the British do with like fist fights and shit. Yeah, I think that's coming.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
It is inevitable.
Don't do it in the streets. Let them do it. This is class warfare. Let's pit them against each other. Like let them fight it out. Let them fist fight. Whoever wins, then we'll try their way. I mean, that's basically what we do anyway. But continuing on with the veterans stuff, he talked about veterans will finally get the benefits of the comprehensive health care they deserve. First off, this is another how you gonna do that, and second off, bennies don't bring people back to life, bro. Like, stop sending these motherfuckers to war first. Like, you can't talk about, we're going to give much better benefits now, and your healthcare, we know that sucks, and we're going to work on that somehow, magically, even though we've never cared about it until now. Now is the time. We're going to change this. Also, we're going to war, you guys. So just remember, you get better benefits these days. Seems a little sales pitchy to me.
Dude, I was just going to say, it's a sales pitch. He's using the State of the Union, which should be an opportunity to either talk about hard times. I mean, in a honest world, right? A real president, a real leader would come out and be like, I know that this has been and it's none of that. It's used to,
it's zero apology.
Fuck you guys.
Zero sympathy.
Fuck you. We got a new plan. You ready for that? Was the old shit. Get ready for the new plan, baby, because it's 5,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll commit your kids to sit in Romania and whatever, Austria, Poland, whatever. And this is the next 20 years of your life. Fuck you. Fuck your parents and your grandparents. This is the machine. Get in. You know what I mean? But said with a guy with a crooked smile who goes, and the money thing, like, I think that's what that is. Like, that's without saying, hey, we're going to like get a little extra slice for you.
Yeah.
It's just going to sound like hardship.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like more shitty news.
Right. There is no good news. There's nothing good to report on in the State of the Union address. That's why he's talking about the future and all the great things that they're going to do, because there is nothing good that he has to say about where we currently are. And I keep saying he's making up these things that they're definitely going to do. So I just have a list of some things that is definitely going to happen magically. I don't know how, but he said, we're going to end inflation. We're going to beat the opioid epidemic. We're going to take on mental health. We're going to get all Americans the mental health services they need. We're going to have better VA. We're going to end cancer as we know it. That's something he brought up in his like campaigning and all that. He was going to beat cancer. Still saying he's going to beat cancer. Like, we're going to war, but you can take just a couple of minutes out of your day to solve an epidemic that's been a problem for the last 100 years. Yes. It's a great idea.
All right, listen, guys. Listen, guys. We're going to go to war. Wait, but we're going to cure cancer too. Right. Before you lose your shit.
Right.
We're going to take care of that.
It's like the kid who's running for like school or class.
Yeah.
President or whatever. Just like, we're going to do all these things. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful.
Yep.
And it's funny because that's exactly what they gave Donald Trump shit for. And that's exactly what I gave Donald Trump shit for. But we're going to have breakthroughs in Alzheimer's. We're going to have breakthroughs in diabetes. We can do these things. And then, just a lot of that stuff. And my question, of course, is why, if we can do all that stuff, did we wait until now? Like, we were all just sitting around, like, nobody thought of ending cancer. Nobody thought of breakthroughs in diabetes. Nobody thought of world peace before Joe Biden gave the State of the Union address. But he's like, hey, guys, I've got this great new idea. What if everything was great? Because that's what we're doing. Everything's going to be great again. Everything is going to be... We should make it great again. Not necessarily everything, though. maybe we should focus more on America. You know, we need to make
not that great. No way, not like that. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Oh, it just baffles me that the world is watching this, and this is our representation, and Putin is laughing his ass off. You know, he was watching it along with the rest of us last night. Like, you want to talk about, where you guys are at right now? Because from where I'm sitting, it's not looking too great for either of us. But yeah.
No.
He said the State of the Union is strong because the people are strong, which is almost a direct rip from Donald Trump, and it also means that the people are I don't know, weak ass bitches with suicidal tendencies. Because if the union is a representation of the people, that's where the union's at. So I guess we are too. He said we are stronger today than we were a year ago. I'm not sure by what metric he came to that conclusion. He said this is our moment. We can do magic. He didn't say this, but magic in 2 years. We're doing magic. And then he ended, here's the end of his speech, and let me know if anything stands out to you. Did you see the end of the speech, or is this new to you?
I did not see this, I don't think.
Okay. This is where I was just appalled that nobody caught this right off the bat, but here's this.
This is our moment to meet and overcome the challenges of our time. We will. As one people, one America, the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you. Go get him.
You motherfucker.
You
enunciated the shit out of that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying go get M, apostrophe E-M. Like, no, that was flagrant him. That was...
Right.
It's like, God bless you all,
would have
and
been
good
like,
night.
what the fuck?
Right.
Go get him? Is this a fucking pep talk from a basketball coach?
Right.
Go get, or yeah, is it go get him? Meaning the one guy. That, it's disgusting. Dog whistles.
Yeah, and it's like, people are like, oh, he didn't call for war. He said after he gave his closing, it's like he went off script, and then he's like, also, the troops, God bless them too. Wait, why?
Right.
Why are we God blessing them? Go get him. Like, whoa, hey, cut the mic. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. God bless our troops. That was even, man, that's pretty, talk about nationalistic. That feels pretty just wartime president talk.
Mm-hmm.
God bless our troops.
What do you think Vladimir Putin heard when you say, God bless our troops? Good luck out there, boys. Go get him. Knock him dead. Yay. It's quite impressive.
Dude, this is weird times, man. And that end of the world, like, I don't know much about it. I go to like Scott Horton, Daniel McAdams.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good on Ukraine.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. I don't know what's up and what's down, like the CIA program. You'll know when the program is complete, when you don't know what's up and what's down. But I don't know how much research you've done on Zelensky, but this guy's a fucking former actor. He like reeks of just Western.
Are you doing the after party today? Because that's all we're talking about in the after party.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I got another probably like 30, 40 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to play this one last thing that was just a beautiful cap to the night, and then we'll wrap it up. This was on some news station, News Channel 4, so it's legit, action news. To the audio listeners, this won't make any sense, but that's why you have to watch the video.
It's not clear what may have been taken, and no arrests have been made.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl at the Walmart in West Mifflin Sunday afternoon.
I like how they like look back and forth at each other, or like the camera cuts away from her, and they're like, "Wait, we can't do that. We can't just like, oh shit!" Like they pressed the wrong button.
Who did it? She doesn't look like she knows because she's behind a screen like me.
Yeah.
But
she's
that
reading
guy
the prompter.
knows.
She doesn't know what the picture is up there. But yeah, just too on the nose. Too. I mean, is it a simulation? I don't know, but things like this make me believe.
A 71-year-old man is accused of inappropriately touching a 12-year-old girl.
Even the freaking topic is like, you gotta be shitting me. Anyway, that's fun.
Somebody risked their entire livelihood at a very good job to do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, did they do it on purpose? I wonder if they were like, that was the next topic and they just threw it up. I do it all the time. It's possible.
There's no way. There's no, with that particular, I mean, No, somebody's getting fired or somebody did that very purposefully. Hey, load this clip up with that.
Right.
With that story. I mean, that's hilarious. That's fucking awesome. Little chaos in the mix.
Yeah, I don't care if it's on purpose or an accident. I thank God for it personally.
Either way, it's fantastic.
Yes. Dave, thank you for being here. This went long, and I appreciate you sticking through the drudgery that is the Fate of the Union address with Joe Biden. Do you have any final thoughts before we jump out of here?
Dude, everything's coming up aces, at least for a couple weeks. Enjoy it, everybody, until the next super mega emergency. So,
yep.
Yeah, man.
Everybody needs to go take a vacation like right now while you still can. Just go enjoy your life and hurry up because it's coming down. So, any good pills? Do you think that there's any chance that this vacation of spring and no COVID and not yet war, this kind of limbo of purgatory that we're in at the moment, is there any chance that lasts more than 2 weeks, or even 2 weeks?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, gotta have faith because, what the hell else are we doing? This is crazy, unprecedented shit though, and it feels like, I don't know, that nuclear clock has been at the same place for like a little while now. That like it just like certain things feel inevitable. I can't like shake that feeling that like if there's 10,000 nukes on the planet between like these two countries, like somebody's bound some point in somebody's lifetime to trigger one of those bitches. I don't know.
What happens when you get a legit suicidal president, or like a guy who's been, let's say Donald Trump gets in and he's like beaten down by the system, he's just ready to give up, and you're just like, well, I want to kill myself and I have the ability to kill all y'all with me. Like, just bring it all down. If I can't have this world, nobody can.
That's what I'm saying. I know that like we're at the end of the show now, not to get too deep, but like it requires so much chill to be a good human being, and like just nobody has their chi together right now. Nobody has their head right, let alone the fucking scummiest of the scumbags who reach it to these echelons of power. So like they don't instill me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
But I do have hope that just like nobody is that awful. Is that the best hope? That like, I don't know, man. I hope we don't get mutually assured destruction. I heard Scott Horton saying like, like Argentina, like Guam would be like the only place on earth that wouldn't, if you're riding that line around the equator, you'll be okay, but everybody else will be just totally fucked for 2,000 years.
You want to move to Guam? Set up a compound?
It looks pretty sweet, bro. Yeah. Peru. I think you're doing okay there too, like that area.
Yeah. Could probably get Elon to send us some Starlink. Seems to be pretty easy. But
help. Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, Ukraine, they've got freaking Starlink. They've got killer Wi-Fi and free guns. I don't know what we're, bitching about.
Listen, Ukraine is the United States satellite, dude.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. NATO
I don't believe
is
in
not
satellites.
All those NATO countries are our countries. We don't have embassies. We have places where we fucking look at you. We look and we maintain our empire.
Well, we're giving too much of a sneak peek. We're going to talk about Ukraine, and we're going to do it in the after party. So if you're not in the after, or if you're not in the Downers Club, go get in there now, and you'll be able to join us for that live. But Dave, thanks again for being here. Tell everybody where they can find you and all the things you got going on, man.
Yeah, I'm in the process of rebooting my podcast. I'm going to get on this live tip, but I'm learning the stuff. We're getting some new equipment for the co-host, and that will be up and running really soon. So I'm pumped about that, man, because, this is the way to do it, not editing everything and spending way too much time on that stuff. That's what I was doing for a while. So we're reformatting.
Years doing that, and then I'm not going back.
It's just too much time that I could be talking to other people and having fun. So I'm really excited about that, but I'm not trying to rush it either because I don't want to look like a boomer like Josh coming in and fucking, dinky donkey.
Still hasn't figured out that framing, has he?
He's actually, you know what? I got to give it up to him. I hit him up for some advice and they're like, hey man, how do I do this? And he's telling me. So just talking a little shit, but doing that.
He's definitely ahead of the libertarian podcaster curve when it comes to production quality. So
he certainly is. That's why we can pick on him. But back on the old tweets, hate. That was a big blow, man. Getting knocked off there. It's kind of spawned the whole let's rethink this whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, Dave versus Goliath. Hit me up.
Right on. And to all of you out there, thank you for tuning in. I know we had a bit of a late start, but that won't keep us from talking way longer than you want us to. So stick around. We're going to the after party. We're talking about some Ukraine, got a couple other articles and stuff, and just watching the world end. We'll see how it goes. We'll find you guys all over there. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be at some different festivals, different things this summer. Lots of stuff coming up. I believe the confirmed things are the Delaware Convention. This week I'm at Liberty Forum up in New Hampshire, and I'm going to be in Reno, and I might be at Pork Fest. All those things. So keep an eye out, and I'm sure there's more to come. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Go join us in the Downers Club, and be smart, be brave, be bold, speak your mind, and know what's true, and share it with the world. Share this with the world too, because if you're not, bold enough to say this is all a bunch of bullshit, then at least trigger them by sharing this show, and I would appreciate you and love you forever. But yeah, until next time, guys, be safe, have fun, question all the things, stay uncomfortable, and keep an eye on this Joe Biden fella, because I mean, he might be saying a couple good things, but I personally, I think he's up to no good. Let me know what you think. Dan at tsidpod.com. Follow me at tsidpod on Twitter, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out. Button. Peace.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.